Hello and welcome everybody to our webinar HTML5 Gantt widgets. Today we want to show to you how you can easily achieve a migration of your current Xgantt or JGantt based scheduling application into the web. And the most efficient way to do so is using a customized interactive Gantt chart widget provided by NETRONIC. This is my colleague Dieter Temme, who is the team lead and responsible for all our HTML5 development within NETRONIC. And this is myself. My name is Elmar Karlovic and I'm the CEO of NETRONIC. To give you a brief overview of the webinar's structure, first of all, I would like to give a short introduction into NETRONIC and into our portfolio. Then Dieter will take over and give you all the details concerning our technical base that we use to develop the widgets. And this is including the data model, the architecture, and also a demo of a Gantt widget for the use case of production planning. Finally, I will then have a few words to the business and price model of the widgets. So let's start off with NETRONIC. NETRONIC is a worldwide leading supplier of visual scheduling software. With this software, we want our customers to gain transparency and operational agility. And the main instrument or tool that we provide for this is the Gantt chart, of course. And for that, our slogan is NETRONIC, the Gantt charts for visual scheduling. This is our DNA, and this is what we do now since more than 40 years. Let's have a look into our product portfolio that steadily and continuously growed over the years. And therefore I just took the header of our internet website. And here you can see, of course, that we provide products for developers, and you all know that. Here, this is our core business. We provide developer controls based on .NET technology, ActiveX or Java. But during the time, we also decided to take these controls and build applications on our own. This in the first step mainly for the ERP users of the ERP system from Microsoft that is called Dynamics NAV. And now also standard add-ins for the users of the new ERP from Microsoft that is called Business Central. But we also have a very new young product for end users that can be used independently from any ERP or even standalone. This is called Just Planet. This is a standard scheduling software for small manufacturers that is cloud-based and available as software as a service only. But today we want to focus on the product or a product that we provide for developers. And these are the customized Gantt widgets that we use to support your migration into the web. And for that, I'm handing over to Dieter now, who will give some more technical details to the technological base that we use to develop these Gantt widgets.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Dieter Temme, and I have to share my screen. I hope you can see it now.
Yep.
Yes, we are developing since 1997 interactive controls for the Windows desktop, and Xgantt, XNet, and X3. And later we also published Gantt for Java, also for the desktop, but not only for Windows then, but platform independent. And over the years, the web browsers became more and more powerful and now also allowed to run desktop-like applications which are platform independent, and they are executable without installation effort. And this shows some disadvantages of our previous products, Xgant and JGant, because in the past it was possible to run Xgant and JGant also in the web browser, but with security concerns, this is increasingly restricted, and in the current browsers it's not supported anymore without further settings. And so we decided to develop an HTML5 planning board for our customers, but now it's not an out-of-the-box component without customizing, but in a customized HTML Gantt widgets for your needs. And this gives some advantages for you. I will show you in the next sheet what is the base for our HTML Gantt widgets. We have a framework named NETRONIC Web Application Framework that we developed since 2014. Now it's 5 years. And initially it was only had only basic functionality, and now it's grown up, and we have many customers for web and cloud applications that use it. And we also use it in our own products named JSPlanet, you heard it already, and the visual scaling add-ins for Microsoft Dynamics. And so we have this framework that supports the following browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, and Internet Explorer. It's not easy all the time to follow the browsers in their updates. In order to be as performant as possible, we rely entirely on SVG in this case. And since 2018, we have a new data model that maps resource planning in a generally valid way. Each extension is carried out after a thorough consideration of advantages and disadvantages. So we follow with our Gantt visualization also only the data model. This means also that we do not integrate business logic in the moment. That is intentionally, because this business logic is highly application specific, and that's your part when you implement your application, and we don't want to implement some business logic that is also on your server, maybe written in other languages. So, for example, we do not automatically calculate resource allocations. So here we have an overview of the new data model for resource planning. And you can see the main objects here are the resource and the activity. Both can be nested, and they are linked by the allocation. And allocations typically are shown as bars in the Gantt chart in a resource view. And there is also another view called the activity view, where we show the activities with their start and end. And also we can have links and curves and the calendar for each resource. It's a working time calendar, like you know it from Xgant and JGant. But this time these are specific objects for this domain model. So some specialties of our resource planning data model. This data model is a result of our years of experience with customer applications. Unlike the implementations in XGANT and JGANT, we do not rely on our own data management here. Instead, the application delivers its objects in a jointly specified data model, and this eliminates the need to define qualifiers for the application. Sorry. And the objects can generally be transported using JSON. That has the advantage that you can alternatively generate the objects on a server. And the data model covers numerous application areas in, for example, production planning and control, project planning, and dispatching. Also, this data model has presentation-specific properties for defining symbols, colors, interactions, and behavior, and so on. Now we come to the architecture. We see here on the right side our NETRONIC web application framework, and in a layer above, we implement a customized HTML5 Gantt widget that is defined together with the customer and delivered by us. And here in left of it, we see the client part of the application, which uses options, methods, and gets callbacks from this customized HTML Gantt widget. And it delivers data objects to this Gantt widget that following the data model that we have defined together with the customer. And also, naturally, there is a server part of the application, which then communicates via asynchronous protocol over the web, maybe. So now we can have a demonstration of it. And I will switch. No, that's false. Here is it. We have loaded some sample application which covers the use case production planning. And we see here above we have a time scale. This time scale is dynamically, so we call it. You can expand and shrink this time axis here by using the mouse wheel, and the time scale is automatically changed to show the best visualization for this time axis scaling then. And we have a resource view here. You can see it on the left side in the table. These resources are grouped, and we have resource groups here. And these table rows can be colored by using attributes of the resource objects. When we collapse or expand such a resource group, this is animated. We can have also more than one table column. This is not visible in this sample application. Naturally, there is a scrolling possibility. And you can see here also that here is a working calendar. For each resource, you can have another working calendar. And also we can see the dateline grids here, which in this case here we have a weekly dateline grid, which starts with the beginning of the week. And there's also a work dateline you can set on every date you want. And we have several bar shapes from where we only see the rectangle here in the moment. The bars can be dragged horizontally or vertically. In this application, we do not have a logic to to position the allocation on another resource, but you can see that at the top that the callbacks that are thrown or triggered, that they are made visible here by showing their names. And there are also callbacks for tooltips and for the context menu and so on. So, and on every object you have the free choice of your own showing of colors. And yeah, that I think is an overview of our basic Gantt widget. And if you have questions, you can use the chat function of our webinar. And I will hand over to Elmar else again.
Yes, thank you very much, Dieter. Of course, you can place your questions using the functionality provided by GoToMeeting. We will collect that and we will try to answer that at the end of the webinar then, or in other cases, we will of course give you our email addresses that you can reach out to us, and then we can have a call or an individual personal GoToMeeting to go more into details. Dieter had the demo for the use case of production and planning, as this is by experience the most common planning application that we realize, but there are also others, and Dieter named these other use cases in beforehand. So here I show just a mock-up of the use case production planning, and I want to add to what Dieter said that even though in the use case before and here you see just the table part with one column, it is of course possible to have multi-column table parts, so as many as you like. Here it's just one, but of course you can have more. And here in this project planning use case, you know that we don't have the resource-centric view that is normally used within production planning, but here we have what we call the activity-based view for projects. So here in the table part, you don't have the resources, but the project listed and also grouped. Here the grouping is also just including 2 levels, but again, here it's up to you. You can increase the hierarchy level as you like or as you need. Here, in general, we have got the same, almost the same, or more or less the same possibilities that you are used from our controls. So you have got something like a sum bar, you can have milestone symbols, and of course, you can also make links visible as long as you provide this information from your side. And this is another thing that I want to really emphasize and refer to what you can see on our web page. Probably you have been on our web page, and there is also a demo application for production scheduling. And this, we made the experience that some people had a misunderstanding of what they can see there, because this example is including some kind of business logic, and our intention to provide this was that you could have a better understanding of how your application could work. But this, I guess, in the end was not a good thing, and we will change that on our webpage, and we will replace this by the demo widget that Dieter presented before, because what we don't have is any planning logic. So when you drag and drop any bar within such a widget, then an event is triggered, as Dieter said before. So this is the reason why we framed the Gantt chart here with this green frame, just to let you know that this is what you get. So you get a visualization, you get the planning board, but all the functionality, the ribbon bar, that is yours to develop and yours to decide what you want to place there or not. What we provide is a visualization of what you send to our widget. So next use case is a dispatching. Dieter also pointed this out. This is the third common use case that we know from a planning board. Here in this mock-up, we have got again a resource-centric view, and this is listing up like service staff. Here I have got electricians, and on the right side I have got another table, and this table is including an unscheduled backlog of service orders, and the normal way of planning would be a drag and drop from the right side into the Gantt chart to the respective electrician in this case that should be assigned to this service order. And also, of course, here in the backlog, you can group and have many levels of your different entities, and again that's the same valid for the right and the left side here. It is up to you, and you can also have different columns in here and have got symbols that you can fill with your logic. Whatever you need from your side shall be visualized here. And probably one more thing that you cannot see here right now, but what I want to tell you also is you are used to have histograms within X-Gantt and J-Gantt. Of course, we also provide histograms within our widgets, and even better than you are used from our controls. Each resource line in here can have its own histogram. So this is another advantage of our Gantt widget. So you can expand each resource line in a resource-centric view and have there a histogram with the workload or the load out of your schedule. Okay, so now you know all the use cases, you know the technical details concerning our NETRONIC web application framework. So let's have a look to the business and pricing model. Typically, providing a widget comes along with 4 steps that are specification, development, integration, and deployment. So specification phase is a very important phase. As we don't provide an out-of-the-box developer control, there is a must of defining what shall be the functionality of the widget and what should not. As Dieter said, the specification can be done by yours, so you can do that. And by experience, most of the time, you guys very often have a very detailed idea, and most of the time, even detailed specification document that can be used. If you don't have that, there is also the option that we help you doing that. But in the end, there must be 2 documents in the end of the specification phase. One document, what we call the functional requirements document. So this is summing up the scope of delivery concerning functionality, and also the definition of interface and data model. And these both documents are then the basis to prepare and provide a binding quotation for you, for your widget. This quotation includes, of course, the development and the supply of the base technology and including the customizing. Also, we provide widget maintenance and support. This is including widget bug fixing. also technical support as you are used that we provide also for our controls. And furthermore, widget maintenance also includes the adaptation to new browser versions, which is a very, very important issue because very, very often, like the browsers get new versions and we take care then that all these happenings don't impact anything on your scheduling application. And finally, there's also a deployment fee that you know from our controls. And if you decide to go with a widget, then it's NETRONIC part to develop the customized widget and provide it to you. During the process of development, we have got a benefit for you because we can provide what we called an evaluation widget that we deliver to you in beforehand, and that allows you to make tests concerning the infrastructure on your side so that you can prepare it accordingly, so that when we are finished with the development that you are prepared and you can seamlessly integrate the widget into your application and be ready for the market. So this is the phase of integration. Then this is by experience taking not a very long time in comparison to what you are used with other controls or all other alternatives concerning HTML5 planning boards. And then if this is done, then the most sufficient phase begins, because then it's yours to deploy the new planning board into the market to your happy customers. So, to wrap it up, what are the core takeaways that we want to give to you today? First, NETRONIC provides a very attractive option for you to migrate your planning solution into the web. Second, and that's very important, this is not an out-of-the-box control, but it is a customized widget. And third, this option includes a great chance for you, because compared to all other alternatives out there in the market, the time to market is by far the shortest. So we know that there are thousands of very cheap alternatives out there that you can use, but then consider that you really have to invest a lot of time to get familiar with that on one hand, and to get an at least appropriate functional Gantt chart out of that. We are on the other side, we are the experts, and we are doing this since a long time, so we know what we need to do, and we can do that in a very short time. So if the decision comes towards NETRONIC or something out there, always have this make or buy decision in your mind, and then we would be really happy if your decision is to go on your path with us. And with this, I thank you very much for your kind attention. And yeah, we are really looking forward to receiving your questions. As I said before, the best thing would be if you just reach out to us personally, so then we can discuss in more detail or make use of the chat functionality. And I see that I have some questions in here. So hang on, I just need to see it in a full view. So here is a question from Piotr, and it says, if we support any mobile browsers. Dieter, could you give some details on the functionality on mobile browsers?
Yes. Yes, it runs. We have tested it on iPad, and but these Gantt charts are not very good looking on a smartphone while the screen is too small there. But on tablets it's possible to show it without problems, but maybe there's a performance problem then when the tablet is not very performant for itself.
Yes, correct. So if I would wrap it up, I would say yes. And we call that, or we differ between optimization and enablement. So we definitely focus our Gantt chart technology to be run not only on mobile device, but on a desktop. And
yes, I may add.
Yeah.
Yes, I may add there that we have implemented touch interactions also, so that you can use it on a tablet with the normal tap figures, and you can also pinch in the time scale to shrink or extend the time area, and this is implemented by us for touch devices.
Okay, thank you. So then I'm having a look on other questions. So Tom is asking, can you do one line, many activities? The answer is yes, we can. So in our resource-centric view, you can have many activities or allocations, as we call them in the resource-centric view, in one line. And actually, this was exactly what Dieter showed in the example of the production scheduling example. So here's one question. Has the HTML5 Gantt widget all features of Gantt? What are the differences? Well, this is a bit, that's a very good question, but it might be too time consuming to list it all up. The answer is no, but it is not like totally the same functionality, but on one hand there is less, but on the other it's a bit more. And there is that I need to emphasize. There's one big difference so far. So in our old controls like Gantt, there was a printing functionality which has the HTML5 Gantt widget currently not. And we are not very focused on providing this so far because we had the experience that especially providing a scheduling software for the web gives you the very big advantage to have live Gannts running. So imagine the first example of the production planning and scheduling application. So here normally or very often this is combined with some shop floor data integration so that you have got ongoing updates of your data that in best case are really live, so that the planning start or the planning line is identically with the time now line. And then printing out a Gantt would mean that the printout is not actual anymore in the moment you print it. So make use of the browser and have a look on the current on the current version as you have flat screens or even have the possibility to look on mobile devices. So that is what we learned, and for that reason currently we are focusing on different things than on offering intensive or extensive printing functionality. So I'll see if there's another question. Okay, Piotr is also asking for ballpark figures concerning pricing. The answer, of course, cannot be given in general because, as you learned, every widget comes along with like two parts. There's one standard part, like one framework part, and there's also always the customizing part. And it depends on how big the customization part is. But to give you a ballpark figure, like from all the widget that we have been realized so far, the part with the lowest degree of customization came along with a fixed price part for providing the widget with approximately 10,000 euros. So that is a ballpark figure that you can take, yeah, as a ballpark actually. So then here Matt is asking, have you implemented have you implemented real-time updates into the charts with multi-users? Actually, this question is not really focusing on what we offer. And once more, I emphasize, we are just offering with the widget the tool to visualize what your logic is calculating. So if your logic, if you are running an MES and your MES is providing data with real life, then for sure our widget is able to visualize that. But we do not provide functionality to calculate this live data. We visualize the data that you calculate. Okay. So I guess there is a really long list, and at this point, my proposal is that I will have a look into the list later on, and as promised that you get an answer. Everybody of you that has just posted a question here will get an answer from our side. Otherwise, if you, we will, I guess that will be tomorrow. You will get an email with a recorded webinar, and then of course you can take the opportunity to rewatch this video. And if you have got questions, then just list that question, send an email to Dieter or myself, and we promise that you will get an answer. And with this, I really thank you for your attention. Hopefully this, what we presented today, is attractive to you, and we are really looking forward to making the next steps with you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.